Hi, you're here with Samantha Brown, and I was due to be doing a one-on-one video coaching call this evening, but unfortunately the wonderful gentleman that I was going to do it with has had to rearrange. So I thought, as I have all my camera equipment set up and I'm nice and calm and there's no noise, that I would share something with you and give you a second live video today. So I thought I would talk about your ideal client, your dream customer, and working out what that perfect dream customer's avatar actually is, because I have found that most people don't know. I asked, let me see, so I put up a post recently just saying I've been learning about Facebook ads and would anyone let me experiment on them? And I've had so many offers. 30 people said that they were interested within, like, I think it was 2 hours of the post. So I sent out a few questionnaires to people, and of those 30 people, 25 people have already responded. And one of the questions was, what's your ideal client? Because if you don't know, when it comes to Facebook advertising, you can really hone down in on your perfect person. Facebook has something like 90 data points for all of us. You know, there's the basic things like gender, how old you are, when your birthday is, where you live, where you work, places that you visited, and then it goes into pages that you like, but then it can work out the kinds of things that you like, other things that you might be interested in, obviously all your your friends, and there's so many data points that Facebook knows about us, that when it comes to actually doing Facebook advertising, you can literally pick your perfect person and send out your advert just to them, which means, of course, that they're more likely to actually click on your advert and do whatever it is that you want them to do. So in my case, view my videos, learn some stuff, come and do some one-on-one video coaching with me, do my online video course, be a test Facebook ad person for me at the moment. There's loads of stuff that I'm looking at, and I can actually go out and choose the perfect person, and you can all do that too as well. It doesn't even matter if the person that you're after is a consumer, or if you're B2B, so if you are looking for business people as well, because Facebook knows where we work and it knows our job titles and all of those kinds of things. So you can get so hyper niche with your advertising and your targeting. So it makes sense to do that. Why wouldn't you pick your perfect person? I just don't know. So I sent out this onboarding questionnaire to 30 people. 25 people have responded already, which is absolutely amazing. Perhaps the offer of cheapness for Facebook ads was the enticing offer. But of course, people are going to be paying for their own actual adverts. I'm not paying for those. So I just wanted to read to you some of the responses back that I've had from my questionnaire to show you that people really just don't know who they're actually targeting. And of course, if you try and be all things to all people, then you're nothing to no one. So one of the things that I really try and get across to everybody is that it's okay to be polarizing. It's okay to have your own opinions, to not like some things, to not want to work with some people. I know that I'm sat down right now, so I'm pretty sedate for me, but I am really, really high energy. And for a lot of people, they can't hack that. I remember I put up a video once in a really, let's say, serious business group on Facebook, and the one of the gentlemen that watched it said, it's really great that your video is still. You obviously have a tripod, unlike all these shaky selfie style videos, but you move around too much, you gesticulate too much. To which, of course, I replied with, thank you very much for watching, because I didn't start just pointing until the end of the video about 10 minutes in, so clearly it couldn't have been that bad for you. But it's okay that I don't appeal to everyone, and for me, that's how I am, and getting that across in my videos is really important. Darren's just put high energy never. Darren and I have met in real life, so he can probably attest to that I am as nuts in person as I seem on camera. And right now I'm sat down, so I feel really not quite as excitable as I normally am. So there's a little kind of video tip for you. If you ever really want to get across your passion and your energy, stand up and do talk about your thing. I was thinking about going for a walk, but then realised that it's sweltering outside, so I'm sat inside my kitchen where it's nice and cool. So I know that people don't choose, and you know what, it is a choice. you do choose your customer. It's not like you're just landed with a load of people. So you should be choosing a very, very specific person. And I know that you're not. And the reason I know this is because I've got my huge scientific sample size of 25 people who responded to a questionnaire that I sent out of who's your target audience. And these people were telling me their ideal customer so that I can then go and write a Facebook ad for that person. So it's obviously really important that we get the right person. Otherwise, you're just going to be trying to pitch your services, your thing to everybody, and you're going to waste a load of money. And even if you're not doing Facebook ads, even if you're just writing posts, or you're putting out content, or you're doing marketing in a magazine, or maybe you're doing your 40 seconds at a 4N or a BNI group, or other local business networking groups, if you try and appeal to everybody, nobody's going to find you interesting. I promise. Nobody. So you have to really know who it is that you're trying to talk to. So for me, I know that I resonate with people who tend to be coaches, authors, speakers, property investors, people who really have a message to get out and want to make a difference in the world. So I know that when I'm speaking, I'm trying to talk to people who have a message to get out as well, which obviously resonates with what I do as well. So I'm glancing to the side because I'm in my kitchen and there's a window just there, and a gentleman's walked really close to it. I think he can hear me because all my windows are open. He's probably like, what's that nuts girl doing sat in a kitchen by herself just talking? Matt has just asked, what's my secret to keeping my energy up? Just talking about stuff that I really care about. It's nothing else. It's been a hot day. It's the end of the day in the UK here. Caspian, my son, is really struggled in the heat today and been really whingy and wonderful and sweet, but really whingy. So I'm pretty tired right now, but I'm talking about something that I know is really important. So for me, that brings me life. And also I'm connecting with people. So I don't know if you get that. If hands up if you do Facebook Lives. I know most people don't. You should. But when I'm doing a Facebook Live, I feel like I'm having a conversation with a friend and trying to help a friend out. And so that also gives me energy. So hopefully that helps, Matt. So I was going to give you some ideal customer answers that people have given me. So let's go with the first one. So what I've done is, because I have so many devices, I'm just going to read from my ManyChat. That's techno speak for a robot that sends messages on my behalf. And rather than me spending, let's see, what would probably have been at least 15 hours, if you think 25 people onboarding, if you took on 25 new clients right now and you had to go through their businesses and work out what they do or work out how you can help them, how long would that take you? Even if you only spent half an hour, 45 minutes with each person, it's going to be 15 hours. So I, thanks very much, Darren, for totally putting me off and snorting Lucozade. I don't drink Lucozade. I do drink coffee. So I set up a ManyChat robot sequence, or bot sequence in ManyChat, which works through Facebook Messenger, which goes from my page, and it took me about 2.5, 3 hours to set up, and then I sent it out, and I got all these responses, and rather than it spending 15 hours, it took me 3, really, but then every single other person, automatically comes on. So that's just a awesome thing about bots. And every single person that's taken it, I asked a question at the end of, give me an emoji, a smiley face, something, if you liked this onboarding sequence and want me to do one for you. And every single person gave me an emoji, which is nuts. They went through the process. They were the user, and the recipient of the in-depth questions. And those people said that they wanted me to create one for them, which meant that it was obviously a really great experience for them. If you're not using bots, you totally should, but you also need to make sure that they're fun and interesting to use for the end user, which is obviously what I can do. So anyway, I'm getting back to the point of ideal customers. So my first person, my most recent person that's answered, now I know he's a marketing type person, a really good salesperson. So his response is really good. I'm not going to name names because of client confidentiality, but every single person that this is probably like a friend of mine or a follower on Facebook, because I've not promoted this out to other people. So we've got some good things to start off with here. So what this person has said is it's somebody in mid-30s working in marketing or some kind of design work, based in the southeast of England. It's got an interest in food items, small batch craft drinks. I don't know what they are. Well, I guess probably like beers and things like that. And eating out or cooking for themselves. So that's actually really good. So you've got some interests there, and then you can kind of almost go on like a tangent from that, that if they are interested in cooking for themselves, you know, what kind of pages they're going to like, what kind of groups they're going to be in, all that kind of stuff. And you can target that on Facebook. It's nuts. So let's have a look at the next person. Bear with me a second, because I have to quickly find it. So this one's really good as well. So career women, although then we go anything wedding related, planners, decorations, other suppliers, interest, not sure. So this person does wedding photography. And really what you'd be looking for if you were trying to target, as a wedding photographer, and you were trying to target new clients, is you'd be looking for people looking for certain things. So they might be looking at Tiffany's Facebook page for rings. Hopefully, you know, if you're a guy, you should know what Tiffany's is. It's like one of the most beautiful diamond, I guess, providers, jewelry stores in the world. So like you'd be looking at certain pages that your ideal client's going to like, and also the kind of age they are. Women really more than men. Men aren't going to look for wedding stuff at all. Sorry. So it should be like female. The age, they're like the average age that people get married. The younger they are, the more money they spend. So I've heard, you know, things like that. So you need to be really, really hyper targeting who they are, and then try and give them a name as well. So if you go with the age that they are, so let's try not go with, you know, oh, I could sell my thing to anyone could buy it. They're aged 18 to 60, and they can live anywhere in the world because I sell internet. I've got like an online education thing. So anyone could buy my thing. It's amazing, you know, it's brilliant. Everybody could have it. Well, that's brilliant. But then your copy, the things that you write, the things that you say aren't going to appeal to them. So you want to be going, okay, so my perfect person, if I closed my eyes and I imagine them, my perfect person would be a late 30s coach who does speaking at small events around the country, but is looking to get onto the international stage. They have an interest in Tony Robbins. They might have an interest in Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. They've tried to do a lot of things on their own, but although they're really confident speaking on stage, they don't like speaking to a camera because it feels weird. Maybe they have started looking at camera equipment or microphones and things like that. For me, let's see, what else would they be? So predominantly male is my audience. And I would give him a name. I would say he is called John, and he is 40, say, and lives in a medium-sized town in the UK. Or I could say, well, it's Julie, who is in her late 30s, so say 38, and she's on her second career. She has children, definitely, and wants to make a difference in the world and all that kind of stuff. But that you can target things like has children, etc., etc. So I've been asked a question by Ahmed of whether I am an Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon person. No, I'm not, because I don't sell stuff. So thanks for the question, and thank you everybody who's watching. We've got Chris and Sam, Nick. It's obviously a very good time to do a Facebook Live. It's in the evening, you're all bored. Nothing on TV. I'm sure there's supposed to be football on, isn't there? I don't watch football. I have no idea. I'm a girl. So anyway, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, just pop them below. So let me see some of the other responses that I have had from people. So here's one. Now this person is, let me try and work out what their business is. They haven't answered that question. That's really useful. But ideal client, it's quite broad. Self-employed professionals with a full-time self-employed income. Really, that could be anyone with their own business. So how on earth would you write something that specifically appealed to that person? Now, I'm not calling this this wonderful person out because loads of people do this, but anyone who's self-employed, that's like so many people. What about all the self-employed Fulfilled by Amazon people? What about all the self-employed builders and let's see, shopkeepers or coaches as well? Property investors are self-employed. You know, there are so many letting agents, the people that own letting agencies. There's so many different kinds of self-employed people. So where do you draw the line, and how do you write things that are going to appeal to them if you're that broad? But ignoring the writing and the copy, how on earth are you going to advertise to that specific person? If you were, maybe you'd done a Facebook Live and you were going to boost it, how would you choose who that video is going to go out to? Like, that's just far too broad. I'm going to give you another one. Let's have a look. This is totally off the cuff, not practiced at all, not scripted. I am never scripted. I don't even write bullet points down. I am completely nuts. Okay, so this guy has kind of like a landscaping business. So let's see. This is pretty good, actually. My perfect customers have, and this is probably because this guy knows who pays and the kind of person that actually comes to him and wants his business, or vice versa. So perfect customers have large grounds, high income, time poor. When they come home, they want to enjoy their lovely garden, have friends over. They don't want to do the gardening, but they have reliable service, so they don't have to worry. High earners, successful business owners. Ooh, women are the decision makers, like that one. So they'll be the main target, and 35 plus. Now that's pretty good. So by saying 35 plus, then you're wiping out a massive segment of people who, are younger. But then also, what about like the much, much older people? I would say there's potentially a big difference between someone who's retired with a decent pension. So let's go with like 65 plus, and somebody who is still working. Like the way that they are going to read something or watch something is really, really different. So I'd say you definitely want to split them up even more. Whether you have 2 types of, or 3 types or 4 types of ideal clients, that's fine. But you need to be really, really, really focused in who that person is. And I know that terrifies everybody. So don't worry if you haven't done this kind of exercise before. What I'm going to do, because I'm doing it for my Facebook ads testing people at the moment, is create a almost like a step-by-step questions and answers thing. So if you want to go through the exercise, and I'm going to do it by my amazing bots because I'm in love with bots at the moment. If you want to go through the exercise to try and work out your ideal client, then pop your, just tag yourself in below, say yes please, say I'm in, say something, say hi, whatever, and I will send you a link to it. And I've compiled a load of questions that try and draw out of you who your ideal client is from the standard, this is your customer avatar, the really boring stuff, but also who your dream customer would be if you were to plan everything and think about your ideal life, and your perfect life. Who would you be working with? I think it's really important that you think about that, because so many incredibly successful entrepreneurs, and I'm talking like the kind of like the 100 millionaires, the billionaires, say that early on in their businesses, or even halfway through their businesses, they wake up one day and they hate their customers, and they hate their business, and they hate this really consuming life that they have created. They've got loads and loads of money, but also probably loads of outgoings, and it's stressful and it's hard. And I think if you can sit down and take 10 minutes and just think about who the perfect person is. Maybe you've already dealt with them. Maybe they are that person who is just so easy to deal with. Every time you speak on the phone, they're wonderful. And when they send you an email, you actually feel happy rather than another email from this person. What are they going to say now? I know that when you first start off in business, you kind of almost want to pick anyone. You have any customer you want, and then there are certain people that you like. Some of your customers, their names, and you're like, oh, they're gonna. Okay, and some of you might not have that many customers, and therefore you probably know all of their names. Now, I know as a letting agent, having 700 properties, there were certain tenants whose names I know. Like I would get a phone call or a voicemail message or an email, and I would know, oh, it's that person. And I knew that if I knew somebody's name, if I knew a tenant's name or a landlord's name, and could instantly go, it's that property, I know that they are the ones that are causing the trouble. They are the ones that take up all of the work and that make you feel so stressed. And then there are the people that you don't know their names. You know, if you get to the point of having 700 customers, 700 properties, like something like I don't know, probably 1,000 tenants. Out of 1,000 people, I probably could name you. I could still do it, even having not like worked directly in the business in 2 years. I could still name you probably 25 of those properties and the tenants that caused the most issues. Which out of 700, 1,000 isn't that many. But if you could get rid of those people, and you could just have the good ones, the ones that made you feel happy, the ones that loved you, the ones that were so thankful for what you did, the ones that you really made the most difference to, wouldn't that be better? Like, wouldn't that feel amazing? So what I'm going to do is I've got this questionnaire going on, and it's going to help you identify who that perfect person is. And so you just put in, like, it asks you questions and draws it out of you, and you just put in the answers, and you'll end up with this perfect avatar or ideal avatar of your perfect customer, your dream client. And they are going to be the person who you were excited to go and do business with. I was really excited to get on my call earlier today with one guy, because I knew that I would make a difference to him. And then I knew that when he then started doing even more live videos and more exciting live videos and engaging ones, I knew that he would affect loads of people and that it would have this massive ripple effect. And that's who I love working with. It's really nice helping out people who are just starting off and who are struggling and who can't afford you, and you just want to help out because you can see that they're trying and they're just not getting anywhere. And it's really nice to help them. But if they can't pay you, or they just take and don't give back to you, or for me, if I help them and it's just helping them and they don't go on to help other people, at some point you're going to end up bankrupt. At some point you're just going to be drained. There'll be nothing left of you, and you won't be able to continue and help and serve other people. So you have to make your main focus helping the people who are going to also help you back by either paying you well, or if you are in the position of being financially free, that sustain that so that you can then go and do your charity work and help the people who really can't afford it or who really, really need it. Or you make tons of free courses so that you can help out all the people that really can't like at the moment afford you, and then you hope and you know that someday, because you made a difference in their life, they're going to make a difference in someone else's life. But unless you are in a position to just go and fund the world, which you're not, no one is, you have to go and find the clients who really value you and therefore pay for you. And so for me, that means focusing on the coaches and the speakers that are really trying to get to the next level, rather than just the people starting. Because those are the people that are in a position to pay me, which means I can help more people and keep going. And they are also the people that are massively trying to expand their network. So for me, I'm helping them and they're helping more people, which means that I just get to help millions of people. My aim will be people who are, and you know what, I've watched them. There are people who are millionaires. They're earning tens of millions of pounds in the UK, and they're still not that great at Facebook Live. I get more Facebook Live reach than they do, which just shocks me, because they can go and pay people to go and do their Facebook marketing for them, and yet they still don't do it. And those are the real people that I want to help, because I know if I help them, they get their message out to more people, which means more people will find me, but also I help more people. So it's like you've got to choose and focus on your ideal perfect person, and you've got to say no to the people who aren't that perfect person. Even if you're struggling for money, you have to learn to say no to the people that aren't your perfect person. And you have to learn to not try and appeal to everybody, because otherwise you're never going to appeal to your ideal person who is literally going to enrich your life. You're going to enrich their lives, and then together you're going to form this beautiful harmony. So if you want my questionnaire to how to work out who your ideal customer is, then just pop a comment below, or send me a PM, and I will send you my questionnaire. And it draws from things like Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. It draws from loads of different stuff that I've read that helps work this out in a really none of these people have a, this is what you need to do to work out who your ideal customer is, but they all touch on it. And so I'm trying to bring it all together. So we've got like Tony Robbins stuff and Russell Brunson stuff, and a load of other things I can't think of off the top of my head at the moment, because it's the end of the day and it's hot, and this is an unplanned Facebook Live. But I'm gonna, I'll help you work out who your ideal client is. I can't individually sit down with everybody as much as I wish I could, or have a FaceTime conversation with everybody. But what I can do is help you work out who your ideal customer is, so that then you can go and do your own messaging and do your own Facebook ads to start off with, because you have to know who that person is. You have to know who your ideal client is, and then you will attract them to you. The universe is an amazing thing. It will bring the right people to you if you know who they are and if you ask for them. So that's why I'm working with some lovely people. Veronica is on right now, and she is one of those amazing people who is helping loads and loads of people, and I know that by helping her, she'll help more people. So that's the kind of thing that makes me excited, and you need to find out who that kind of person is, because then you'll be excited, and then everyone else will fill up all that energy, and the world will be just this wonderful place. So hopefully you found that interesting, and just send me a message if you want to find out like how to work out who your ideal customer is. I promise you, if you try and get to everybody, you're going to get to nobody. You have to have that perfect person in your mind every single time you do a live, you write a post, you put out some content, you're in a group and you're answering questions, you're asking questions in a group. If you know who your perfect person is, every single one of those things will bring that perfect person to you, and then the world will be an amazing place because you will have had more of an effect. So hopefully this has been useful, and I shall see you guys all very soon.